Hello, welcome back. Today I'm going to be rebuilding my 2 litre turbo engine. I removed it from the Vectra turbo a few weeks ago, and if you saw the episode where we took it to bits, you would have seen that it was a bit of a disaster. It turned out the bores were heavily scored, so it's going to need a rebuild, or rebore, sorry. Luckily for me though, I had a spare 2 litre non-turbo engine in the trailer, if you might have seen in the graveyard edition. So I decided to rebuild that instead. Yeah, not quite the same. So the differences are, what I had to do was, I had to get this machined, the oil turbo return. So I took it to an engineer and it's probably damaged now, isn't it? Took it to an engineering workshop in Birkenhead, and they drilled and tapped the turbo oil return for me and faced this off. Fantastic job for a fantastic price. So yeah, I've had that done, so now it's officially a turbo engine. It's amazing. They've been using these blocks for decades. It's basically the exact same block as my GTE, as my VXR. You know, well, there's some slight differences, and I was very lucky that, spin it round. Oh, looks fantastic condition. It's a really good neck. The bores, see all the cross hatching still, a little bit glazed, but yeah, I don't know if you can see that on there, but yeah, it's a really good engine. So luckily for me, there's a grub screw on the back of the engine here, and that grub screw was in there. Whiz that out, and there's your oil supply to your turbo. So happy days, it's a turbo engine. And a X20 XEV, so it's basically proper Vectra engine as well. So not only are we doing a conversion, but we're putting the proper engine in. So what I'm going to start off by doing today is I'm going to hone these bores, get that done, and then put the piston rings on the Astra VXR pistons I've got for it, forged pistons, and then we'll attach the forged rods, put the crank in, yeah, and just build it up. Should be fun. I haven't built an engine in about 7 years, so go easy on me. It's been a while, but I'm sure it'll all come flooding back. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lube these bores up. Plenty of oil in there. And then we have our honing tool. In fact, I'll do this over here. So we've got our honing tool all lubed up. Bloody lubed me up as well. Got the drill on a low speed. See what that looks like. You don't have to go mad with them. just about taking the glaze off the bore. Yeah, that looks good. I'll give it one more pass. Bit of lube again. Difference in that bore compared to that one. That one's like a dull with like cross hatching, and that one's shiny. You don't want shiny. Let's do the next ones. When your battery's dying, yeah, just in time. Beautiful. Sound. Right. So 4 bores hound. Right, so we've got the main bearing shells here for the crankshaft, and took the old ones out, which were in really good condition, but it'd be silly not to put new ones in while we're at this stage. So these literally just slot in, but they have a little locating tab, so make sure it's nice and clean there. I've cleaned it all out. They just slot in. That's it. And make sure you put them in the right way. Well, you can't really get them wrong because they have a locating tab, but you've got an oil journal there for each one. Just make sure there's no debris or anything on them. And it says on here as well, STD. It's not a disease, it stands for standard. So just so you know, because we haven't had the crank ground or anything, because it's in perfect condition. The bearing shells are all the same, apart from the middle one, which has sides on it to prevent end float, which is basically movement, lateral movement of the crankshaft. There we go. Sitting nice and flush. Beautiful. Right. And what I've also done is I've given this a really good clean on the ends. So on the ends here, you've got you put a sealant for the end bearing cap, so it's got to be free from grease and grime and stuff. Right, so what I'm going to do now is smear a little bit of oil just on these shells. Cool. And we'll drop the crank in. Also got a new crankcase oil seal, which sits in there. So put some lube on that. There we go. The caps. Number one, and that little tab there goes on the same side as these tabs, basically. Again, a bit of oil. I'm going to nip these up, I'm not going to do them tight. Just nipped. Cool. Lovely. Lovely and free. Right, so I'll tighten up these main bearing caps. 50 Newton meters apparently. Okay, nice and free still. 45 degrees. Lovely and free still. And then 15 degrees. Beautiful. So on the end bearing cap you got these two like journals, and I cleaned them thoroughly with wax and grease remover, and basically we've got to put some sealants in here now to create a seal on the side. Basically smidgen of oil on the shell. Back to the torque wrench, 50 newton meters. Degrees. Followed by 15 degrees. Okay. Wipe off any excess fluid. It does say to make sure as well. Pump some in. Make sure it's that side to torque down. Crank is free. All good. Really smooth. Main and bearing shell. Again, 50 newton meters. Degrees, followed by 15 degrees. Beautiful. That is the crank back in. Beautiful. Right, so I've got the engine the right way round now, and I've got these Nevlock forged rods, so just attach them to my VXR pistons, which I just clean the rings up, well, where the rings sit, with an old piston ring. I'll space the rings out and get that fitted. Nice. There's an arrow on the top as well. Basically the arrow needs to be pointing towards the timing end, so yeah, that's what we'll do. Some nice new big end bearings. Yeah, nice rods. Watch me balls this up now. Nice. Whoa. Whoa. Go. I forgot to put some oil on that bearing. Good idea, wasn't it? I'm a little bit out of touch. Can you tell? There we go. And then again, that side, that bit of bearing there. Sits on there. Bit of lube. It was a good guess, wasn't it? 11 mil. Not torqued up yet. Whoa. Starting to get heavier, that's for sure. Go. There's no piston slap anymore in that. No movements. when I took the standard normally aspirated pistons out. There was no play in them either. It was toys. Good. One down. Let's go. Right, so just put a bit of lube down the bores, or bore. And I'll try not to bore you. Bad joke, that one. One thing I didn't mention earlier is the bearing shells for the big ends. You've got one with a hole in. The one with the hole in goes on the conrod side. The one without the hole goes on the cap. And they are matched. So if you look there, if you did happen to take them all off and get them mixed up, but you can't really because they're numbered. 033, 033, and the other pistons will have a different number on them as well. So you can't really get it wrong. If you do, you're a complete numpty and you should be building engines. Make sure the rings are spaced out as well. The rings in the same place, the gaps. Lube on the shell. Check it's free from debris as well. You don't want to get any grit in there or anything. Make sure your cords are clean. Arrow pointing that way towards the timing end of the engine on top of the piston. Make sure that's as tight as it can go. Test the rings. Gentle tap. There we go. Piston is in. Push it down a bit. Rotate. Nice and clean. A bit of oil on our bearing cap. Make sure we put it on the right way. Tab on that side there, numbers matching, tap it on. One thing I didn't mention on the first one is these bolts have an assembly lube, ARP, ultra torque fastener assembly lubrication, put it on the bolt threads and underneath the head, lubed up. If you can hear a load of motorbikes and the horns revving outside, it's because it's... I don't know if you can hear that. I'll open the garage door so you can hear. If you can hear all them motorbikes and horns, it's the egg run. If you don't know what that is, on the Wirral they do what's called the egg run every year, and a load of motorbikes all go from New Brighton all the way to, I think it's Clatterbridge Hospital, and they take Easter eggs for the poorly kids, the sick kids in the hospital. It's been going on for years now. That's a really nice thing that people do. It's not an organised event or anything, because they tried to shut it down years ago when it's for such a good cause, but it's one official arranged event, which is fantastic. I should have went over and had a look really. Right, piston number 2 in. Check it rotates freely. All good. Should we go and have a look? so what an event. Great for the kids. Beautiful. Go. There we go, folks. Lovely. Nice and free. Right, we'll get these soaked up now. I believe it's 75 millimeters, as our mate from Nevlock told us. Should just double check. Okay, 75 newton meters, here we come. Right, so that's the conrods all torqued down. Now for the balance shaft. Can't really put this on the wrong way. If you put it on that way, line them over up here. These ones don't line up, so it only goes on one way. I also put two little yellow marks here pointing to each other. You still are. Put that lined up there. Like that. Perfect alignment. Right, according to the book of words, this is 20 newton meters followed by 45 degrees. Okay, here we go. 20 newton meters. Cool, now 45 degrees. There we go. Balancer shaft all torqued up. After much searching, I found the baffle plates. Couldn't find them anywhere. They're hanging up on the wall where I left them after cleaning them. So 8 Newton meters for these is a very small amount. Next we're going to put the oil pump on. Here we have our brand new Vectra oil pump gasket. Just sits on these little locating tabs, which is quite handy. Oil pump, cleaned up, painted. Goes on like so. Little ring there as well, put that on there. These get torqued up to 8 Newton meters. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we have the O-ring. Sits down in there. Probably been in there since new. So we got a nice new one. Just going to give that a clean out. Always good to put a new O-ring in, as you want a nice tight seal for the oil pickup, so you don't lose any oil pressure. Lose oil pressure, you start starving your engine of oil, and things go horribly wrong, and then you're back to where you are now. So for the sake of a couple of quid, just swap it out. These ones on the oil pickup, 8 Newton meters. One's up here, 10 Newton meters. There we go, we've got oil pumping out now. Bit of a crude way of doing it, but oil pump's working. In the face of the block before I put the intermediate sump gaskets on. This with a wax and grease remover. Even though that was clean, it's filthy. Goes on like so. Beautiful. Okay, so we got the upper part of the sump on. Nice, the bolts have all been cleaned up. I might do a little video on how I did that in the future, but for now they're all going to get nipped up and then torqued up. 20 Newton meters. Okay, there we go. Here we have the lower sump gasket. Sits on there. Just like that. Yeah, that's a snug fit, that. Okay. And the gasket's up as best as I can. Beautiful. And all these little bolts, they were all rusty as hell. They've all been cleaned up, they look amazing now. And fingers crossed, they'll never rust again if the new trick works. But as I said, I'll probably do a little video on it with it though. According to the book of words, it's 8 Newton meters plus 30 degrees. So there we have the lower sump pan, all torqued up, all buttoned up. Everything now should be all tight. Final piece, sump plug. Put a new O-ring on there. Get that in, because we don't want to forget to put that in. 10 Newton meters, yeah. Happy days. So there we have the engine, bottom end all complete. I've also put the breather pipe on, stop anything falling in, taped up the top. And there we have it. All done. Top end to do now. There we have, bottom end all buttoned up. Nice and shiny. I've put the little circlip on as well that holds the oil level sensor in. And there's our drilled and tapped hole for our turbo oil return. Need to throw the dipstick back in at some point once the head's on. All breather pipe tube, it's all been painted. Hopefully you can see that. Well, that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, don't watch it again. If you did, you can watch it again. Give us a like, even subscribe, because there's plenty more to do. Next we've got the cylinder head, so we'll be taking the valves out in the next episode, recutting the valve seats, taking that Merseyside engine part. He'll be giving it a skim for us, Tony, and yeah, we'll get the head built up, get it put back on, get a new cam belt, water pump, cam belt kit, and we shouldn't be too far away from getting the engine in and the gearbox. Still needs to clean the gearbox up, so it ain't going back in looking like that. So once again, thanks for watching.
Uses his madness, and a madman uses his genius, destruct. You see, a genius uses his madness, and a madman uses his genius, destruct.